What is up, people? It is MewMonster58. Welcome back to another video review. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Transformers Studios series, Transformers 1 Deluxe Class Starscream, the Steve Buscemi version of Starscream. And some little tidbit before we get into this about Steve Buscemi that I always like to say is, if you guys don't know Steve Buscemi, he was a firefighter before I believe that he was an actor. And when 9/11 hit, he actually retook up his mantle of his firefighter gear and tried to help and find people who were lost in the rubble of the Twin Towers. And so, really cool, like really selfless from especially a big actor at the time. He's not nearly as famous as he was back then, but still a legend in my opinion. So, with that all out of the way, I know that's a little off topic, but getting into the box, you can see the very nice box here. You can see the Transformers Studio Series, Transformers 1, you can see the Starscream there, Transformers in 30 steps. You can see the very nice artwork there of Starscream as he appeared in the Transformers 1 movie, both in his Autobot, both in his robot as well as his Tetrajet mode. Here is the side of the box where you can see some more nice stuff, Deluxe Class, Transformers Studio Series, the Autobot logo right there as well. Then we switch here, you can see Starscream, more nice artwork here, obviously, of Starscream. You can see Studio Series, Transformers 1, and then on the back, you can see your obligatory product shots, Transforms in 30 steps, and then there's some more nice screen cap of Starscream as he appeared in the movie. And so, with that all out of the way, I think the box is very well done as per usual. And so, without further ado, alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here we have the Transformers Studios series, Transformers 1 Deluxe Class Starscream in his Tetrajet mode. And I gotta say, guys, this looks really, really good. This is the most... Someone put this well on Twitter. If I can find that tweet again, I'll put it on screen and credit the user because there was a really nice tweet. It may have been a tweet, might have been a YouTube I can't remember if it was a tweet or YouTube comment, but regardless, this is the most jet version of a Tetrajet that we've ever seen, meaning it's closest to what a conventional jet would look like while still giving the Tetrajet vibe and the aesthetic that we all know and love from the original G1 cartoon and the preceding G1 Tetrajet interpretations that we've gotten over the years with the other figures and stuff like that. So taking a look here, you can see it's not quite like gray. It's like this very bright beige color, very sort of flat, very mono beige color mainly, with all these nice red details, the beige accents. You can see the very nice cockpit here looks really, really good. Some nice blue accents going around. Sure, it doesn't look the best from the side, and on the bottom it kind of looks chunky, but for the most part, it actually looks really good. The chunkiness, in my opinion, adds to the whole sort of Tetrajet-iness of it, because if you remember, Tetrajets were pretty chunky because they were kind of shaped like this, right? They were shaped like that, right? They were kind of shaped like that. So, but you can see some more nice detail here. You can see the very nice gray here. You can see some nice gray here as well. The nice red going across to the board. Overall, the jets also look really nice here. The turbines on the back look really, really nice. They're very nicely detailed. You can see the nice molding in there as well. Overall, when it comes to the actual looks of this jet mode, I am really, really happy with it for the most part. Like, sure, you can say this looks a bit kibbly, but overall, when it comes to the looks of the vehicle mode, I think they did a really, really nice job. And so, we're going to do a size comparison since we are going to set Starscream off to the side there. Alrighty, folks, here he is with the Transformers Legacy United Deluxe Class Infernac Universe Magnus. As you can see, an average deluxe size jet and probably one of the best deluxe size jets in terms of just like the looks and everything on what we've gotten so far. So overall, again, I'm not complaining really about the way that this Tetrajet mode looks. I think it looks really, really nice. Alright, folks, here he is with the Transformers Studio Series, Transformers 1 Deluxe Class Bumblebee. As you can see, these two also look really, really nice together, average deluxe size. Here he is with another jet, Transformers Studio Series, Transformers 1 Voyager Class Sentinel Prime. These two look really, really nice together. Starscream is obviously going to be a bit smaller than Sentinel here, both in the movie, both in toy form as well, Voyager versus Deluxe, and also just the character sizes are different. Sentinel was a pretty good sizable character, all things considered, and so overall, these two look great together as well. Next, here he is with his eventual leader, Transformers Studios Series, Transformers 1 Deluxe Class Megatron. As you can see, these two look great together as well. Megatron is a little bit bigger, if you look at it like that. Megatron is a tad bit bigger, actually, I'm kind of looking at it from now, they're actually about the same size, but Megatron, when we're looking at them, I guess both of them feel pretty much the same. Actually, there's not really that big a size difference between them, surprisingly. But overall, when it comes to the sizing, I'm not too mad about that at all, because if you look at this Megatron, sure, he is post getting, turning into a Decepticon. But at the end of the day, they were still relatively close in size until the whole Matrix thing happened, and Megatron got the Megatronus's spark instead of Optimus getting the Matrix of leadership. So overall, still looks really good. And finally, here he is with the Transformers Studio Series, Transformers 1 Deluxe Class Optimus Prime. These two also look really nice together. If you know the beige on Optimus Prime, it's pretty much the same beige here on Starscream. It's nice to see that they sort of remain consistent with that. I do like that. I think it shows that these two are more in the same universe relative to one another. So overall, not really complaining about this. Sure, Optimus might be a tad longer overall, but at the end of the day, I think these two are very well sized together and they look very nice together. Alrighty, folks, and it's time to get into the transformation. Now, real quick, I'd like to mention the only other thing I'd say about this vehicle mode is that there's no landing gear, and that's a kind of annoying because you have to set him on flat on his actual, on the actual plastic. So that's a little annoying, but whatever. Transformation. Now, this is where this figure, in my opinion, has a little bit of a fault, and it's not that the transformation is bad or frustrating. It's just, especially the top part of this figure, I always feel like I'm forcing parts to push, and it feels like their tolerances aren't as nice as I would like them to be, especially because the spacing is so tight on the wing area of his jet mode, especially when you're transforming him. Like I said, it's not frustrating. It's just sometimes I feel like I might break something and I don't want to. So let's get into it. So first things first is this is his gun, or one of the parts of his gun. So I like to remove that, and you can set that off to the side. And then this is also an accessory, so you can remove that and set that off to the side. It just pegs here on that 5mm port here. So what you're going to want to do is I like to rotate these around since we're already doing this anyway. Then from here, what we can do is we can lift this up, and then you can unpeg these and sort of rotate them up like so, to sort of try and get them out of the way. So you unpeg them and rotate them up like so to get them out of the way. Then you can fold the wings in. Then what we can do is we can get these legs, and then we can get the arms out of the way, then take these panels, and you can fold them both down. Then we can take this entire leg section and start to accordion it out like so. It'll unpeg the jet boosters if you're having trouble. So just unpeg those, and then you can start to rotate these out like so. Then from here you can fold the feet out, fold these down, and these will peg. So there's a peg hole right there, and then there's a peg right there. So these will peg into place like that on both sides. Fold those back in. Then from here we're going to do the chest. So you're going to fold this down, and you're going to fold this down as well. And this is one of the parts of the transformation I always get annoyed at. So you fold this down, and then you sort of push this down. You want to, whoops, well, that came off. You want to push this entire thing down, and then you accordion the cockpit in here. And this is where I always get, one of the parts I always get frustrated with, even though I said the transformation is not frustrating. It really isn't. There we go. Do that, and then you can fold that back in, rotate this around, and then this will all rotate around, and then this will just go snap into place like so. And his head came off. Wow, a lot of things are coming apart today. But so once you have that at that point, the head should be around here, so you can just push that down like so. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come here, and then for the wings, you want to rotate them around, and then you want to rotate them so that these bits are facing forward. Let me bring this up. You want to rotate them around so that these gray bits right here are facing forward. Same thing here. So if you're taking a look, you can just rotate it like so. Rotate it around like this. Fold the arms down, then take these shoulder bits. You can fold these in like this. Then the back of his vehicle, or the back of his robot mode, you see there's a little peg hole there, and there's a peg there. You want to peg those in like so. Sort of straighten him out. And ladies and gentlemen, here we have the Transformers Studio Series, Transformers 1 Deluxe Class Starscream in his really amazing looking robot mode. And I gotta say, guys, from a visual standpoint, this looks fantastic. I mean, it looks really, really good. Like, sure, the backpack is a little bit big, but at the end of the day, when it comes to Seeker backs, we all know that they have a relatively, large backpack-ish, or especially with all their wings and stuff like that, right? Sure, this part extends out a bit more than usual, but overall, it's still a really, really clean side profile when you look at it. And so taking a look at the details, you can see the head sculpt looks really, really solid. Sure, it looks a little bit weird, but that's more or less the design of the actual head sculpt in the actual movie. So overall, I'm fine with it. The nice gray for the face, the red for the eyes, the nice dark gray for the rest of his head. See some nice detail coming here that you saw in the vehicle mode coming down through here. Looks really, really nice for his neck here. You can see this nice for his chest and everything going down to his crotch piece. Overall, looks really solid. The nice detail here, even on the legs as well. That looks really, really nice. All these little rivets here. Nice detail on the feet. Very Seeker-ish. It's a really nice design, in my opinion. Sure, if you may not like the head design in particular, but overall, when it comes to sort of harking back to the original cartoon, but giving it a nice modern twist, I think they did a really good job of giving this guy a really nice design. Now, I do have one issue, and that actually has to do with the shoulders. These are like friction pegged in, and these like to come off really easily, so be careful. I don't know if that's the same across all figures. I'd have to assume it's at least, you know, a common issue. But for mine in particular, you'll see when we transform this thing back to its Tetrajet mode, these shoulder bits like to come off a lot. So overall, when it comes to the visual aspect of this robot mode, especially when you compare it to the actual on-screen, I'm going to find the best picture I can get on-screen for him. I think it looks really, really good. Not quite, I guess, not quite one for one, ha ha he he, ha ha he he, funny joke. But overall, I'm very happy with it. So, we're going to set this guy off to the side, and we are going to be doing our regular size comparisons. Alrighty, here he is with the Transformers Legacy United Deluxe Class Infernac Universe Magnus. As you can see, average deluxe size. He's a little bit taller than Magnus, but not by an insane amount. Overall, I think these two do look nice together. But yeah, Starscream is of the average deluxe size, but a little taller than Magnus here. Alrighty, here he is with Bumblebee, and this is a really nice size. Obviously, Starscream, in most continuities, if not all of them, is bigger than Bumblebee. And so when it comes to this size comparison, I'm very happy with it. Here he is with the newly released Elita 1 from Transformers 1 as well, the Deluxe Class one. I'm going to definitely review this. This will come out next week when I review her. But taking a look, these two look great together as well. Elita 1 is about the same size as Starscream in terms of head height, and so I think that this works out very, very well. Elita 1 was always sort of you know, she's a female Autobot, but at the end of the day, she was also always, in my opinion, I think she was a bigger Autobot than even the Minibot. She was more or less the average size of, you know, like, let's say, you know, Sideswipe or Sunstreaker, you know, the car bots and everything like that. So I think her size is very nice here and relative to how she looked in the movie as well. Alrighty, here he is with the Transformers Studio Series, Transformers 1 Voyager Class Sentinel Prime. As you can see, these two also look very nice together. Sentinel should obviously also be bigger here. Should be bigger, excuse me, than Starscream. And this is a pretty nice size between them. I'm very happy with it. These two look nice together, even though I don't think they really directly, you know, came face to face in the movie at all. These two still look good together, especially when you're, you know, compare Starscream size to Megatron, then compare Megatron size to Sentinel, and then you look at the size. I think overall it's a very nice size. Speaking of Megatron, here he is with the Transformers Studio Series, Transformers 1 Deluxe Class Megatron, and this is where the size actually really works here. Megatron, as you can see, is a slight bit taller than Starscream, as he should be, and I'm very, very happy with how this size works out. Overall, looks great. And finally, here he is with the Transformers Studio Series, Transformers 1 Deluxe Class Optimus Prime. Just like Megatron, a little bit taller than Starscream, about a head or so. Works out here because obviously Megatron and Optimus should pretty much be eye to eye. Megatron should still be a little bit bigger overall. But when it comes to these two in the movie, I'm pretty happy with how this size works out. Alrighty, folks, finally we're going to get into the articulation before the reverse transformation. And when it comes to the articulation, this is where this figure also has a bit of a fault. This figure visually looks stunning, but the functionality of this figure really isn't all that great. Now, when it comes to the head is actually pretty, excuse me, pretty well articulates on the ball joint, so you can look up and down to decent bit. You can do a full 360, which is nice. So up and down about that much. You can do a little head waggle too. That's really, really nice. Shoulders are full 360, so you can get a full 360, but you have to move the wings out of the way in order to do that. These will go up, so you can go out, you can go in. You have a rotation here at the elbow, and then you have a bend at the elbow. You have no rotation at the upper part of the bicep, though. Now, this is the issue I have. No waist, and there's also no wrist. Now, wrist is hit or miss when it comes to deluxes, right? You know, some deluxes have wrist articulation, others don't. Overall, I'm okay with him not having wrist, but the waist is what really, really blows. And there's another one here in the legs, but legs can kick forward, they can kick back pretty far, they have a way more than 90, which is really nice, but rotation here at the thigh, but no ankle rocker at all. They can go forward and back due to transformation, but there's no ankle rocker, and that's a really big shame, because pretty much every single figure today has ankle rocker pivot, and the fact that this guy doesn't really blows because you can't really get this guy in wide poses because of that. And so when it comes to his articulation, it's definitely subpar. Alrighty, the one thing I'd like to also show here is the accessories. So when you take that part off of the top of the Tetrajet, you'll notice that there's a peg hole right there. You take the gun, there's a peg right here. You can just peg these in like so, and then you can obviously peg those in like this. I should have shown this before the accessory or the articulation section, but you can hold it like this. It does look pretty cool. I don't remember if he used this in the actual movie, but overall it does look pretty nice. It's not anything to write home about, but the fact is he can hold it and it looks pretty good. If you want to store it, obviously you can just store this on the back here as well. So overall, when it comes to this figure and its accessories, it's okay. It's nothing to write home about. Obviously you do get the null rays. I didn't mention that. You can also remove them, but obviously they complete Starscream's look, so I never ever remove them. But yeah, for accessories, he does pretty alright. Alrighty, folks, it's time to get into the reverse transformation. In my opinion, getting this guy back to his jet mode is a little more annoying than getting him to his robot mode, in particular because of one aspect that I'm really not the biggest fan of. So let's get into it. So first things first, we are going to straighten him all out. We're going to remove this, set this off to the side here. Just straighten him all out. First thing I like to do is you can peg the legs together like so. And then what you can do is you can fold, you can fold the blue bits out here on the back, his leg panels like this. Then you can fold these boosters up like so, and then we can peg those in later, keep that pegged in. Then you can fold the feet up as well, like that. You get them all like that, and so you'll have something like this for the time being. I like to keep it like this. Then take the back here, you can unpeg these, and then fold this out. And then you can take the wings, you can rotate them around and accordion them like this. Do that, and do the same thing on this side, rotate them all the way around like this. Then you can sort of push them down, and then you can start to spread these out. Now what you want to do is you can see, I don't know what you can see, this little peg right here, you can see these little rivets right here. Essentially you have to rotate them around to the point where they're straight like this, and then you can fold this back down to where those little rivets will fit into those slots on the back part of his jet mode. Then from here you can take the head section, well, you can fold that down, but if you want to, but you'll have to fold it up. So rotate this up like so, keep the head in there, then you can rotate this up and around like so, nose cone like that, fold this down, take this cockpit section, fold it out, and then peg this in, rotate this up, and then what you'll notice is there are two peg holes there are two pegs here, and you want to rotate that cockpit section here, then you can fold this down, take this section, then what you can do is that you'll notice that there are, I'll compress all this, fits very nicely. Then you'll notice that there are peg holes right there and right there on both sides, and then there is a peg on the side. You can barely see that peg right there on the side, and you have to accordion them so that they fit right into those slots. So I'm going to do that same side as well. Both of those are transformed. Then for the arms, so we're going to come down here, you can fold the arms out, and then you want to flail these around, and then you'll notice that there are pegs here on the back of the legs, and that there are peg holes on the inside of this. So you want to, actually I probably shouldn't have, that's my fault, sorry about that folks. There are peg holes on the inside of the legs there, you want to fold those, accordion those in, and this is also a part that I always get frustrated with sometimes, is like pegging these legs in. There we go. Just gotta feel it. Peg those in. Then what you'll see that there are pegs right there where the jets are supposed to go. You can fold those up like so. Fold the feet up. Then fold the blue parts in. Take the arms. Now take these shoulder bits and you want to fold them on this hinge right here. Them out like so. I'm surprised these shoulder bits haven't come off yet. What you'll notice is on the forearms and the inside, there's two little pegs here, and then there are two slots here on this side. You want to slot those in like so. Again, slot those in like so on the other side. Just repeat that same step. Then here, you want to take the gun, you want to split it. You want to take this 5mm peg, and you just want to peg this onto the top here. This is where it gets annoying. So when you're looking at this little section right here of this gun is supposed to essentially rest into this little slot right there on one of the shoulder bits. But it's always annoying, so I try my best to I've been finagling with this for the past few days, so I like to sort of rest this in best I can. Because essentially it has to go like this, right? It has to go like this underneath. So I do my best to rest this in. You gotta straighten the null rays out. Rest this in like so. And then you gotta hold it. Push this in. the note. You can see this thing just does not like to stay. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta feel it out, and it's really annoying, but once you get it all settled, just straighten the null rays out like this. Make sure these are pegged in like so. Sort of flatten everything like this. Oh my. And ladies and gentlemen, here we have the Transformers Studio Series Transformers 1 Deluxe Class Starscream back in his very cool Tetrajet mode. And so guys, for my final concluding thoughts on the Transformers Studio Series Transformers 1 Deluxe Class Starscream, this guy is pretty solid. Not without his issues though. So bad, definitely the functional aspect. Transforming him can be a little frustrating. Like I said, I know I said at the beginning it wasn't frustrating, but clearly in the video I definitely had some frustrations doing it on camera. Of course you don't do things as good on camera as you usually do them off camera. So my apologies for that. But trust me, when you're playing with this guy in hand, you'll get used to his little foibles transforming him. But that doesn't excuse the fact to me that some of his transformation sometimes feels like I'm forcing parts I don't necessarily want to, in particular the wings. The other thing is the articulation. That's where this guy sucks a lot. No waist articulation, no ankle rocker. His articulation is very subpar. But what this figure does amazingly is visually this guy looks awesome. I mean, his Tetrajet mode looks really, really good, and all the details in the paint are very well done. And then when you get him into his robot mode, he really is extremely close to his on-screen counterpart, and it looks really, really solid. And it's not like you can't get him in some poses at all. It's just that you're pretty limited in how this guy is going to be moving around or displayed on your shelf if you're displaying him like this. So overall, out of a 10, I'm going to give this guy a 7. I think this guy is a solid figure, and I would recommend him, but be wary of the lack of articulation as well as the loose parts and some of the transformation here. But overall, I still do really like him. It's just there are very clear faults with this figure. No way is this guy a perfect figure, even close to it. So if you guys want to pick this guy up, I did pick mine up on the Big Bad Toy Store, so I'll leave a link in the description of that. I also leave links to Amazon as well as Hasbro Pulse if you guys want to pick him up there if you prefer those retailers instead. And in addition to that, I believe this guy should be hitting retailers relatively soon, considering I got him in the mail relatively recently. And so if you are hunting him IRL, I definitely wish you the best of luck and happy hunting on that front. And so, I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. Also follow me on the socials. Those will be linked in the description below. And with that, guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video review, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.